The trips were all, touch wood, extremely successful. Guyana, of course, is a country that's already very friendly to us. 40% of the population is of Indian origin. We got an amazing welcome, met everybody, the president, the vice president, who is the former president and the head of the ruling party, the prime minister, 11 members of his cabinet, the speaker of the National Assembly. Everybody met us, were very warm, very receptive, very friendly, very positive. And so Guyana, in some ways, was the best place to start because it went so smoothly and so easily. Everyone settled into their roles as members of parliament on this delegation. Next was Panama. A little more of a challenge, but they were very receptive, and when we explained things to them, they were totally welcoming. One additional dimension in Panama is they're very keen on strengthening relations with India for reasons of economic development and cooperation, and in that area, definitely, we have a lot to offer, so they were particularly keen on hearing what we had to say. Colombia was a different kind of challenge because they had not been, unfortunately, very supportive. When Pahalgam happened, there was initially no statement. When Sindoor happened, to our surprise and shock, they had issued a statement expressing condolences to victims in Pakistan, who, as we all know, were terrorists, rather than the victims of terrorism in India. So we decided that that was a really important challenge. I took the opportunity of an opening day press conference to express my public disappointment with the statement and explain that, if there is a need for us to explain our position better to the Colombians, we will do so. And by next morning, I'm very pleased to say when we met the acting foreign minister, she announced that they had withdrawn that statement and that they would speak much more positively of us, which she did. And then, of course, similar meetings with the president of the National Assembly and the sort of legislative infrastructure in Colombia also came through very, very positively, and we were able again to feel well received and well understood and well supported. Brazil was essentially very intense because we arrived on a Sunday when obviously not much was possible in terms of meetings. I had a couple of informal meetings with diplomats I knew previously, but Today was a very full, intense day where we had, starting off with the diplomatic advisor to the president, who's himself a longest-serving foreign minister in Brazilian history, former defense minister as well, very, very senior figure here, and I fortunately knew him 30 years ago when he was ambassador to the UN, and we've stayed in touch intermittently, so it was an easier conversation to have, and we gave the message of our expectation of Brazilian understanding and solidarity at this challenging time.